It depends also, I guess, yeah, if you are in Europe, maybe you're more likely to learn English ones rather than US ones. But I guess if you watch a lot of US television, maybe you'll learn the US ones. I can't get a Dutch DILF if they can't speak English. I know! Linguistics, and if you don't have linguistics in your studies, then not a word you'd come across. I see. It's like, I'm not sure. I might have heard something before, but I don't recognize it off the bat. Oh dear, I'm trying to learn Dutch because my boyfriend is Dutch! To be fair, having someone there that can correct you, like if you're trying to speak to him in Dutch, who can be like, you need to pronounce this more, or you need to lean into this sound a little bit more, can be really, really helpful when you're trying to learn a language. Just having someone there to be like, you're close, just lean into this a little bit more, tweak this a little bit, makes a huge difference. Their accents still throw me off and I live here. Oh dear. Yup, even more, there is a difference between different regions in the UK. Yeah, we have a lot of accents here. I love the accents of the UK. I think all of them are really fun. But yeah, it can make it difficult. And also, like, depending on where you live in the UK, things can mean different things. I think Wales is a good example. Like, I think normally if somebody was to call you a butt, you'd be like, excuse me, why are you calling me a butt? But like, old people in Wales might call you butt as like a friendly thing. And also in the north of England, people will also call you butt sometimes. And it's a friendly thing. But in most contexts, if somebody calls you a butt, it's like, that's not friendly. So it's stuff like that I'm sure can get a little confusing, where it's like, it's the same word, but it has two very different meanings. Depending on where you are. Oh dear. Because some places it'll mean a nice thing, and some places it's not a nice thing. Oh dear. If you're trying to speak someone's language, most people respond well. For sure, for sure. Like, I've only ever had positive experiences, and like, people do correct me a lot, but I've asked for that. Like, I want to get better, so I need to be corrected. Also, duck, you get called duck. Oh yeah, duck, but... Oh dear. Oh dear. Also, friends and mates. True, I'm also nervous about traveling because Americans have bad reputation abroad. Who has the worst reputation abroad, guys? People that don't live in either England or America. The British? Or the Americans? Because I feel like the drinking culture in the British, like, we have people take their own security guards with them because they're such a hazard after they've had a couple drinks. Like, who's worse? The British or the Americans? I feel like we're pretty bad. We're both pretty bad, honestly, but I think here as Americans, really? Okay. I know over here, especially doing sporting events, they really hate the British because we are rowdy. And we are rowdy, especially in places like Mallorca, Menorca, all that kind of stuff. Popular holiday destinations for people over here. We're not particularly loved, and I can't blame them either. Like, I get it. We're kind of nightmare people. Oh dear. Oh, that could be closest. Oh, okay. I have a master's in global British studies and wrote my dissertation about how language on the microblogging site formerly known as Twitter interacts with the rise of populism, which is a fancy title. I get to read a lot of tweets by a lot of bad people. Oh, good on you. In Wales, calling someone butt isn't a rude thing, it's a form of friendliness. Yeah, exactly. Same in the north of England, butt is a friendly thing. But if someone calls you a butt in the south, it's because you've been an ass. Oh dear. Do people get called duck butt? I think you should start that. You should start that. Duck and butt. Duck butt. I'm trying to learn Romanian. Now that language is intense. Americans for sure. British people are judged more in Europe because of the Brits abroad. In Europe, probably Americans. Overall, though, Americans. You'd say Americans. Oh, interesting. Probably I would say more British towards Italy, more Americans. I don't know. How you end up in jelly stream? True. We have a lot of very smart people in this stream. They're not me. I just do the sewing, but we have a lot of very, like, genuinely very smart and talented people. I'm very, very lucky. I'm a very lucky streamer who has just had a lot of really, really cool people find me. Oh dear. I know I'm lucky. Don't worry, I'm aware. Oh dear. I don't like any rowdy tourists when they're drunk. I mean, that is very true. That is very true. Oh dear. When I traveled to Europe, everyone was wonderful when they learned I was a Texan. Aww. I think, yeah, it probably depends. And also, like, what areas have had bad interactions with people in the past. I know the British are bad with sports events, and we're not loved. And I, again, don't blame anyone for that. Like, I get it. I've seen what we've done at places. I get why people don't like us. But I know that Americans, there's, like, a lot of people... Because, you know, there are American tourists who can be kind of an asshole as well. So it probably depends. I would hope that no one would immediately just assume you were a bad person based on your nationality.